Hi, thank you for visiting my YouTube channel. This video we're going to cover the ultimate institutional fundraising database and has over 250,000 contacts, including venture capital, private equity, family investment offices, hedge funds, investment banks, angel investors, and more. This video showcases the ultimate investor database for corporate groups looking to raise capital. So who can benefit from this database? Real estate developers and companies seeking capital from private equity firms and hedge funds for large-scale projects or expansion. Financial advisors and consultants aiming to connect their clients with investment banks and other financial institutions to structure deals or raise capital. Established businesses and corporations exploring strategic partnerships or growth opportunities through investments from private equity, hedge funds, or family investment offices. And startups and entrepreneurs looking to secure funding from venture capitalists, angel investors, or family investment offices to bring innovative ideas to life. So let's take a look at the database. So now we're over on the database part, and I'm going to run through all the databases that are included and then provide a review at the end. So I'm just going to go quickly through here. Most of these databases are email-based databases unless they're LinkedIn, and I'll specify that as I go through the lists. A lot of them are going to have the first name and last name, obviously the firm name, city, country, for example, or countries, websites, sometimes LinkedIn's, and they're going to sometimes have the type. A lot of these databases are cleaned. Cleaned means I've run it through email verification companies and software. Most of these databases that are in this row that you're going to see have been used in other campaigns, so they're reasonably clean, anywhere from 2022 to 2024. So let's just go through them. So Asia Pacific has 1,300. The Australia database has 330, and again, most of these are going to be private equity and venture capital firms. Some of them will be investment banks. Blockchain has 130 of them. That was used for a campaign recently by a client who wanted to reach out to companies that invest in blockchain. Then Canada Angels has 1,100, and that is a LinkedIn database. I've got the Canada Private Equity and Venture Capital list. That's got 450, and that has their emails, so that's more of a complex list. Again, that was cleaned in January 2023. China Private Equity and Venture Capital list has 1,000 contacts. It has both the emails and the LinkedIn addresses for quite a large amount of them. This is a custom private list, small list of small investors, anywhere from 25 to 50,000. Most of them are based in the USA. Family Investment Office, so I've got a couple of these. The first one is a refined list that I recently provided for a client in the USA. They really just wanted a list of family investment offices to present a large real estate investment to. So there's 70 on this with emails, of course, again, verified in March 2023. Now the second family investment office is very complex, and I'll spend a little bit of time on this one. This is 10,000 contacts. This is a global list. There are a number of organizations that will sell family investment office lists. I have acquired pretty much all of them in the last 3 years. They are very expensive. And one of the other things about them is they take a lot of work to filter. Many of them are not 100% accurate, and no database is 100% accurate, even mine. This particular list you are going to have to refine. You're going to have to put through a email cleaner because this list has not been cleaned. But I have been told by a investment bank that I deal with in Singapore that this is the most advanced family investment office database that he has ever seen. And he's been in business for around 10 years. It has both single and multifamily, and this one has a fair bit of information: full name, name of firm, country, obviously, city. There are some LinkedIn's, and there are a large amount of email IDs as well. Again, this is a list that you will have to clean, but it is the most effective family investment office database there is. Perfect for organizations, corporate, that have in-house teams that can do the work on it. Global Tech, this is the perfect database if you're looking to launch a tech company and looking to raise capital. It has private equity, venture capital, anybody that plays in the tech space. Hedge funds, family investment offices are also included in this database. There's 1,700 in there as well. This was validated just at the end of December last year. This is global LinkedIn venture capital database, so this is 45,000 LinkedIn contacts, global as well. And most people know that they can source emails from LinkedIn contacts or software that can let you do that. Global venture capital database, this has got 38,000 contacts, and most of this is emails. This is a very complex database. Again, global has a descriptions for the most part of the firms, number of investments in some cases, and again, a bit more information than a lot of the other databases. This has been cleaned in 2022. Indie Venture Capital, that's a small list, 250 contacts. This is a database of investment consultants in USA and Canada. And it has recently been cleaned, so if you're looking to make contacts with people in the investment field, that's a good list for you. International Venture Capital, 15,000 contacts. Again, very extensive list. Emails, sector interest, description, websites, LinkedIn's in many cases, and again, it's a global list. Investment banks, this is 575. This is a database I recently provided to a USA group that wanted to make contact with global investment banks. Middle East Venture Capital and Private Equity database. Now this is a database that I have refined over the course of about 3 years. There are a number of people on the internet that are selling the Middle East Venture Capital Private Equity database. Some will say they've got 500, 600 contacts. They are all outdated, 100% outdated, because I've acquired almost all of them. There's a couple of ones that are very high profile. They're out there selling them. This database is different because every single contact email has been cleaned on this one as of January 2024. There are 325 companies. Now this includes venture capital, private equity, and investment companies. High profile ones, a lot of UAE in here, a lot of KSA in here. I also have created some different fields because this was a custom list I provided for a Dubai bank. It has the investment targets, what they like, for example, venture capital, hedge funds they invest in, whether they like to look at real estate as well. Investment territorial focus, whether they're willing to look outside of Dubai. For example, this one is most of the GCC, so it's very complex. Key real estate assets, if they're a real estate group. This database is unique because I have almost all the contacts as far as the major contact, and these are all senior CEOs, chairmen, general managers, directors, that sort. Then I have a second contact for many of them and a third contact for many of them. I also have most of the HR contacts. HR contacts are great to use to reach out to find out who the main person is. The reason I spend a lot of time on this database is because there's a lot of demand for it. I also have key outreach touch points. So if you know who the contact is, I've actually provided you an introductory sentence that you can put on your letter if you're having a hard time with that. And I've also got contact sourcing outreach if for the second sentence if you want to reach out to them. So I've given you a little bit of help, and that was the scope of work for the previous client because they needed a little bit of help on how to structure their outreach letters. This is the best Middle East database for fundraising that there currently is, and I can stake my claim to that very, very well because I've spent a lot of time on it. UK and Europe Venture Capital, 2,500. UK Angels, 350. UK Ultimate Seed Database. This is the best database for you if you're looking to raise capital in venture, for looking to raise for a startup. Most of this is venture capital or micro VCs or angel groups, and those are the three best places to look for if you're looking for startup funding. This is the most popular database. I've got over 400,000 contacts. This is the most refined database for startups and probably 3 people out of 4 people out of 10, maybe 5 people out of 10 usually end up taking this list. They may not ask for it, but this is the list that I give them because it is very complex. It's got a fair bit of information. Again, key outreach touch points, lots of email, lots of contacts. You can see here it's mostly all early stage or seed capital. USA Angels LinkedIn address, 11,000 contacts. And then I've got a database dashboard, which I'm going to come to in just a minute. So we're going to take a look at that because that's a very helpful part of the database. Dashboard part. Now what this part of the database is a dynamic data search tool. And it has 252,000 contacts already loaded in. Some of them you saw earlier, but there's also added ones in there, pension funds, hedge funds. There's a significant amount of more databases that are in this particular part of it. They're not sorted, but what this does is it allows you to do a little bit more searching by sector, country, city, and by entity. So for example, let's say you wanted to do a screening of everybody that was in New York. Then we would start by putting in New York into the field. And it is a little bit slow on my system, but it ends up being reasonably fast. So you can see there's 13,856 contacts that are in New York. And then if we wanted to narrow it down a bit more, so let's go private equity. And we can see that the total is going to be 759. So again, the dashboard is included. It's already loaded with 252,000 contacts. Again, it's just a great tool. Now what you can also do with this is you're going to be able to export the search results into a Excel sheet. So then that allows you to be able to do multiple searches depending on what you're really looking for. And again, so this is all part of the Ultimate Investor Database. So now we're going to take a look at the review part of it. So it's going to include all the databases that I've just run through, but this is the summary of the totals. So you can see here we started off with Asia Pac and moved all the way down to the data dashboard. Totals are around 398,000. Now this may contain duplicates due to sorting. For example, there are going to be some in here. For example, if it says family office master version, then obviously some of them are going to be in the Family Office USA version. You're going to see some private equity contacts that are also in larger databases. But for the most part, you are looking at around 398,000 total, and it includes 250,000 from the database dashboard that I just showed you. So again, you're getting a large data set. All these ones in this part here are databases that I have sorted and mostly cleaned. Most of those are all going to be cleaned unless they were LinkedIn databases. So LinkedIn databases do not get cleaned. So there's a fair amount of emails and major contacts, as you've seen in the previous parts of the video. Thank you for watching this video, and if you're interested in it, just go to DubaiInvestorsList.com. That's DubaiInvestorsList.com. Please like, share, and subscribe.